How you guys doing? Welcome back. Today is August 18th. Yes, I checked the time and the date. It's been a minute. Shut up, jerk. If you are new, welcome. My name is Evan. This is Buy the Bulls Trading, the only stock trader guy, actual educator, who teaches you to take your trading just by the bulls. Let's get it. So, if you are new, welcome. I appreciate you joining. If you're a long-time watcher, again, I also appreciate you quite a lot as well. With that being said, I have 8 great picks today. I have not stopped making content. I've stopped making YouTube videos for a minute because I've been just so busy with the new job. On top of that, I had to go to a wake for somebody. I have to do a whole bunch of other stuff on LinkedIn for some other stuff for helping folks get into technology, a whole different kind of business thing. It's been a very busy few months, but we should be much more consistent now that I'm back. Yay. If you enjoy this content, like I was saying, I haven't stopped making it. It's just been on my website, buythebulls.com. I encourage you to go check it out. If you really enjoy stock picks and my analysis of stuff that isn't the usual, like, oh, we're talking about Google today and Tesla and AMC, same thing every single day. I go over 8 new stocks every single day on my website. I'll even give you half off. I don't really care. I mean, it's not really about the money. So go check out buythebulls.com. We'll make the code first 10, FIRST 10, capital F. The first 10 y'all who go join buythebulls.com, you'll get 50% off your lifetime being on there. Why not? Because I just feel like it. I don't really care. It's not about the money. It's about the community. So I have 8 great picks today. Go check it out on my website. But we have the whole episode here. With that being said, let's get into it. Up first is ACCL. I like this play. The nonsense over here is pretty alarming. I don't like this, but over here, it's a great ascending triangle. If you haven't seen my charting before, support, resistance, trend lines. The resistance ones are going to be orange. This is the highest volume node of the whole entire time frame. This is from my POC. I have a whole video on volume profile. Go check that out. And then this is where 70% of action happens. So the main ones are the white, orange, and gold. What we're seeing with ACCL is a really nice uptrend. We have a gap here. Most patterns form off of gaps. We have a nice gap here. 1, 2, 3, 4 solid hits holding up very well here. If it doesn't have more than 3 hits, I don't consider a trend line. Any one of you idiots, any one of me idiots, can draw a trend line from A to B. But A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, like I'm Eminem right now, rapping, that's a good trend line. So this has 3 hits. I like that. Mix that with a very strong resistance, becoming a very nice support also off of a gap here. It's a really good looking play. I like what I see. I mean, earnings is here. I mean, you know, take that for what it is. It's not overly volatile, so I'm not concerned with that, but it's really good baked in risk versus reward. I mean, you may be risking 4 or 5% here to make about 12. I like that. It looks pretty good. I would definitely have, again, strong risk management with this one. It's definitely much more on the lower side of cap and volume, but overall I do love what I see. Let's check the indicators. With this show, I do use indicators: the 10, 50, 200 EMA line, the RSI, stochastic, and the vortex indicators. These things are going to help us, but again, price action is always more important than these indicators, so keep that in mind. Don't let the indicators super sway you one way or the other, but overall, let's check out what I'm using, and you can see live what I see. I haven't seen these yet, so you'll see live what a master sees. Let's check it out together. So first things first, a 10 EMA cross is great here. That's the blue line. A cross over the 10 EMA line is a good sign of confirmation. Same with the 50. Both work fine here. That's great. You can enter off of value, which would probably be $1 less, or off of momentum, which would be about 80 cents more. Either way, you have to have some patience here for it to cross over the EMA lines or for it to fall into our buying zone. The buying zone is right around this area, right in this $18-$40 pocket. Overall, EMAs look good. You know, RSI, it's fair. It makes sense. It is a wedge formation, so that makes sense. That's fair as well. That makes sense. And then we have bulls and bears are tied. ACCL is a really good consolidation play. I do think it has bullish bias. That's why I'm going long here. I like what I see. The historical action is a bit wonky. So, I mean, again, volume and cap of it, you know, it would be important, but I'm not overly concerned at all. I like what I see. I would definitely watch list it. Next is KRON. Smoke KRON. That's a dumb joke. But KRON's a good looking stock here because of the recent price action. We were to zoom out. It's not looking great, obviously. But I do, in fact, love the higher lows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 solid hits. Obvious earnings overreaction holding up greatly. Again, there's the strong support is definitely closer to probably 285, but this is a fine spot to be. We can risk what 4 or 5, yeah, 3 to 4% to make about 12, 4 to 1 here. Same kind of play. You can definitely see a channel up kind of forming here. We'll do withdraw channel. You can see a channel up kind of forming here, right? So I think this is a really good value to be at. The POC is our strongest support and our strongest resistance. See how a lot of action bounces off it consistently. If we reverse here and get back over 310, that's a really good sign KRON's going to survive here. Overall, good channel up, good higher lows, great support. It's a very easy play, low risk. I love what I see. With their EMAs, again, you could buy in over a crossover or you can buy in because of value. I think that a 200 crossover is a fine call here. You want to wait 2% to see that. That's okay, but for me, it's a value entry. The trend line's been pure so far. We're there. I wouldn't wait for a crossover. I like what I see there. RSI, it's low. Love it. Stochastic, low. Love it. And then bulls and bears are tied. That's not ideal. You want to see the vortex probably closer to 0.73. But right here, if it does reverse quickly, you'll see a nice move, and I do like that. Everything besides the vortex for KRON looks really, really good. Other than the vortex, the price action's solid. RSI is solid. The EMA lines show nothing concerning. I like what I see. You can really manage risk here in this kind of market. That's definitely the goal. And you can probably make some good money off of KRON. I like what I see. I would definitely watch list it. Next is DNB, Dun & Bradstreet Holdings. Great wedge up here. I think these are going to break down. Again, consistent lower highs across the board, lower lows across the board. And now we can see a nice wedge up forming, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 solid hits, and then 1, 2, 3 solid resistances. Both trend lines check out, and many times wedge ups break down. Wedge ups are going to break down. Wedge downs are going to break up. That's usually the rule here. You couple that with a very strong resistance. It's a very strong support. A lot of action here, you know, gaps, movement. It's a very strong spot. Support there, resistance there. This is a very strong resistance mixed with a wedge up. I like what I see. It's definitely not as interesting to me as ACCL or KRON here. But if you like if you're, you know, bearish in the market, I would definitely check this one out for sure. When it comes to our EMA lines, a 10 cross under means very little here. I mean, I like to use those usually, but you can see historically it's the 50. If you're above the 50, you're good. You're below the 50, you're kind of getting crapped on. I think a 50 cross under is too far away. I'm not going to want to give up almost my whole entire profit to see that. For me, it's just going to be a value short. It's too high, and I like that. Again, RSI 54. It's high. Stochastic, it's fair. Bulls are high. Bears are low. Everything checks out besides the EMA lines. If you're below the 50, you're going to crash. Above it, you should be okay. So you're kind of being preemptive with this. A 10 cross under is fine, but I didn't see any kind of data on there that would drive me to think it's really important to be underneath the 10. Take it or leave it. Overall, though, a really good looking short. If the markets are red tomorrow, I would definitely start there. DNB, I like what I see. I'd watch list it. Next is IQ, the thing that I lack a lot of. Oh, sick joke. Self-burn. I'm sad now. No. IQ is a really good looking play here. Again, very strong support. It's clear as day. Hit, hit, hit. Very consistent support. Trend line's also very obvious. I did cut through a tiny bit. All right, so sue me. It's okay. And then resistance trend's also extremely consistent here. This is a very good value purchase. We're looking at maybe risking 4 or 5%, and a full move is about 20. So it's 4 to 1 without even having a breakout. And it makes these kinds of plays all the time. There's plenty of 20%, 30%, 40% moves in this area. That looks really good. The POC here will be a very strong resistance, which action hits and stops. That's going to be the test. You get over the POC, you're looking really good. Underneath it, not so great, but it is a good value entry. This is a wedge. So what we're going to do, if the 200 and the 50 EMA line in particular are in the middle, they're in the middle like this. They're in the middle of the wedge. That looks sexual. If they're in the middle, it's going to further our thesis that this is a consolidation play in a wedge. Let's check together. So I hit Daddy Snacks. Oh, would you look at that? 250 right in the middle. This bad boy's looking for a breakout. It's definitely a consolidation play. Love to see it. A 10 cross works great here. That looks good. Cross with a 10, go long. Low RSI, low stochastic, and reversing. Bulls low, bears high. It's a classic value entry. IQ is everything you want. Trend line support. It's clear. Only thing stopping me from pulling trigger after hours would be something like the POC. While we're below it, it's a very strong resistance, and I don't want to risk, 5% to make 5%. That's not a move you want making this kind of market. But overall, I love it. I would definitely watch list it. Next is OGN. It's a really nice wedge down. It's the opposite of DNB. So DNB is going wedge up. These break down. OGN, these break up. Very clear support line as well. In this area, looks really good. Of course, a better support's 2877, but you're not going to see that. So this is a really nice looking support. Great wedge down. 4 solid hits. 3 solid supporting ones going into 4 here. The risk is minimal. 1 to 2%. Their breakouts 5 to 6. Risking 1 to make 1. Again, the biggest issue is the POC wants to be gravitational, and it's so far away. It's not going to be a support for us. It's just going to want to pull us lower. So we're really going for a breakout here. Great support play. Easy pattern play. Not much to really talk about here. Earnings overreaction. If we can get in towards 30.25, we're sitting pretty for a good breakout play. A 10 cross works great. You want to give up 2% of your 6 to 7%. All right. I mean, it's okay. It's not what I would do. I want to buy in the value, which we have. 29 RSI, negative 65 on the stochastic, and the vortex is super low. Everything points to OGN being a really good value entry for a wedge down. I'm not the biggest fan of wedge downs. In a bull market, we're kind of seeing one here. But seeing as the markets go up and down consistently, and we're seeing a lot of fluctuation, we have a lot of wedge downs forming, and I would take advantage of those when you see them and they look clear like this. OGN, I'd watch list it. I do love what I see. Next is SCOR, SCOR. That makes sense with the name. That's a rarity. Usually it's like some doofy name like, oh, ABCD, ABCD, and then there's this dumb name, whatever. Side tangent. SCOR, a great ascending triangle. I love ascending triangles. You can see bears said, all right, 225. Then bulls said, all right, I can go for 158. And they got the 225. Then said, oh, all right, we'll do 183. They pushed it back up. Then said, actually, we'll do 192. And now we're going to see them doing 202. So we can see bulls have all the power here. We have higher lows across the board. Bears have no power outside the 225 area. Anything below this is controlled by bulls. Earnings, overreaction, coming back down. But it's a very good looking ascending triangle. Very clear support line right here, right? You could probably risk a good 4 or 5% to make about 12. Not bad. If you get a bit lower here and then kind of show some life, I'd like it a whole lot more. But it's a great ascending triangle right where you want it. And of course, the POC finally, damn it, it's been terrible all day. The POC is finally going to be a good support for us. I like it right here. The trend line with the POC, it's a very strong support spot. I like that a lot. When it comes to our indicators, a 50 cross works fine here. You cross over the 50, you can go long. That works just fine, but I like the value. 41 looks good. Negative 65 looks good. Bulls, low, and bears, high. There's nothing wrong here besides the fact that the history has been like a year sell-off. But besides that, on this time frame and this little setup, you can risk 3 to 4% to make 10 or 15. And it's kind of market, that's what you kind of want to see. SCOR, I like it a lot. Great little ascending triangle. I would definitely watch list it. I do love what I see. SPCE, this has been an absolute disaster for folks who bought in last year. I mean, it was wild the year before. Now we're coming back down to, where it should be. A very nice little, again, ascending triangle. You can see pushing 750 with higher lows. It's the same exact play as before. Only difference is the POC is above us, so getting above 850 is a wild dream. It's not going to happen at this point, but it will try and pull us higher. So SPCE, everything I just said about SCOR apply here, but the POC is gravitational. That's not part of our support. Same exact play. Not going to take another time talking about it. A 10 crossover looks good here. You want to wait, what, 3%? Oh, what an eye. 3% to get over that. That's fine, but you have a value entry here already. 33 RSI, negative 27. That's good in the stochastic. Bulls are low, bears are high. No bearish or bullish divergences or anything. It's just a good value entry. Now, again, SPCE has gotten the absolute shit kicked out of it for like the last year or so. So thinking you're going to buy it now and hold to like $90 is delusional. All right, that's just stupid. You're going to go for 5 to 10% here, get in, get out, and call it a day. But SPCE at this value looks really good. I do love what I see. And then on to our last one, SRCE. Very similar to the other one, but it's a resistance play. This is a good short tomorrow. Look at, you have a nice, oh, it's a nice cup and handle. All right, we're going to see what happens. This is a very strong resistance. I go to the 10-year mark. Hey, look, there's my price targets for all my members on my website. This is a very strong resistance. It doesn't get above $51 very often, and when it did, it then collapsed horribly. So I think this is a very strong resistance. There's not a lot going on here. There's no trends. It's just a simple resistance play. What you lose in convergence of a bunch of good stuff going together, your support, resistance, trendline patterns, all of that going together, you're losing for idiot-proof simplicity. If this gets over $51, you cut it. Or you buy in, you get rid of your short, and you call it a day. If it's below it, continue to short and have a good time. It's that simple. On top of that, the POC is gravitational, pulling us lower. Love to see that. When it comes to our EMA lines, 10 crossover looks great. When it's underneath the 10, you're falling, you're dying. And when you're above it, you're running. So when we're for 10 cross under, I like it. I would encourage that. But look at RSI overbought, stochastic overbought, bulls overbought, bears are low. It's a value purchase, right? If you're going to go short here, it's a value short, right? If you're below 51, this holds, you go short, you can make 10, 15% over a good amount of time. If you want to wait for a 10 EMA crossover, that also works too. It's just a very good short. I like what I see. SRCE, I would definitely watch this. I do love what I see. Thank you so much for watching the whole entire episode. It means the world to me. Go check out buythebulls.com. It's up there for you. Some great content. Keep pushing and going. Have a good rest of you guys this week. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Thanks.